You feel like you have no idea what you're doing with your life, what you want to do for work, what you want to study, and like everyone else has it figured out. If you're feeling lost, stuck, and overwhelmed, then don't worry, because in this video I'm going to give you actionable steps and advice to discover what you're meant to do in your life. 3 years ago, when I was 19, I dropped out of university studying economics to put up my own social media marketing business. But before that, I was stuck in this default path and cycle set out by society and the school system, studying and doing things I didn't want to and saw no future in. And now 3 years later, I'm working in social media, I'm studying my dream degree, I'm working with my favorite brands, living in my dream apartment, and making all my passions come true. And by the end of this video, you'll have that clarity on what drives you and how you can turn that into something meaningful. But let's debunk a common myth first. The idea that every single person has one true passion that they're born with. We're all multifaceted and multi-passionate people, and our passions and our values will develop throughout our lives. And that's perfectly fine, so don't stress too much about finding that one thing that you're meant to do for the rest of your life. But let's get on to the 3 steps to finding your passion and purpose in life. Step number 1 is to explore different things and truly live out your life, because how the hell are you supposed to know what you're passionate about if you haven't tried out different things? You can't just sit around doing nothing waiting for your passion to find you. Especially if you're young, in your teens, early 20s, and you haven't tried out different things, go out and live first. Because we all live in this society basically doing the same thing. We go to school, we take our final exams, we go to university or work, and then we just continue working for the rest of our lives without actually trying anything different. I know firsthand what it feels like to be mentally and physically stuck in this default mode. I pretty much grew up in a community where the only options given to you were a doctor, lawyer, psychology, or economics. Like, that was just the norm. Like, in high school, we had these like future career sessions, and they were all like doctors, lawyers, and that's also what my guidance counselors pushed on me. But I never wanted any of that. I've never wanted to be a doctor or a lawyer or study psychology or anything like that. I mean, in high school, I studied biology, chemistry, physics, and maths because that's what everyone else around me did and what was valued, not because I genuinely wanted to. And somehow I always found it genuinely weird that all these peers around me were set on becoming doctors or lawyers without trying anything else in their lives. But that was the default path given to us. It was so ingrained in our brains from a very young age. It's the path of study something valuable, work somewhere respectable, and basically never do anything else in your life. And I was also so stuck in this mindset and this default path that I went with economics because that was one of the only options given to me. And I absolutely hated it. I remember going to economy school and one of the professors saying, "You're here so we can train you to be the best employees possible." And they also said never start a business in your life. They had the next 50 years of our lives planned out for us, and I just never saw myself in that. That just felt like all my freedom was being ripped away. But the reason I was able to break out of that and find my passion so young is because I always tried out different things as a kid. I made my first YouTube video at 12. I taught myself how to edit at 13. I launched my first e-commerce store at 16. Started posting on Instagram at 17. Sold my art, sold jewelry, learned how to do graphic design and design websites. So by the time I graduated high school at 18, I had already tried out other things and eventually ended up dropping out of university after 2 months. So experiment with different things, explore the things that excite you, be curious, take a class, look up online tutorials, or just simply take on a new hobby, because the only way to find your true passion is to step out of your comfort zone. Step 2 is all about self-reflection. You first need to know who you are as a person, because if you don't know who you are, what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, then how do you know what your passion is? And you can do self-reflection in so many different ways. One thing I always did yearly as a teenager was the Myers-Briggs personality test. If you haven't heard of it, it's basically a personality test that categorizes people into 16 different personality types. It's an online test. You can find out what your personality type is, but you have to be brutally honest with yourself. And it literally gives you a detailed description of everything. So your personality type, your strengths, what your relationships might look like, what your career might look like, and it's honestly very detailed. My personality type is an INTJ. I can put up some descriptions here, but it really aligns with who I am as a person and what I've ended up doing with my life, and it's just a fun little thing to do here and there. Another way to self-reflect, which is my personal favorite, is journaling. Just getting really honest with yourself, discovering your values, your intentions, who you are as a person. So here are some journaling prompts for you to think of. What would I do if money, time, people, or environment wasn't an obstacle? What would I be proud proud of when I'm old? What would my ideal day look like if money wasn't an object? What would I want to contribute to the world? What do I value most in life? What do I gravitate towards? Those are just some prompts to help you get started on figuring out your passion and who you are as a person. When doing my own self-reflection and looking at all the things I enjoy doing, like content creation, editing, personal development, makeup, I realized that at the center of it all is creativity and storytelling. And for me, that's a non-negotiable. Like, I couldn't imagine myself doing something that doesn't have a creative aspect to it. And again, these are all things and aspects that I had to go for and search on my own because that wasn't the default path. Another thing you can do is build your sort of future ideal persona. So what would an ideal day in the life look like if you were to live your passions and your dreams? Like, what would your morning routine be? What would your relationships be? How would you dress? How would you interact with people? Really like refine who you are and who you want to be. And the last thing to consider when doing self-reflecting is what would you offer to others? Because if you want to find your purpose as well as your passion, your purpose is most likely larger than you. So what do you want to serve to the world and how that connects to your personality, your passions and your values? For me, this has been inspiring others through storytelling and all the different things I do, like embracing yourself, self-love, talking about unfiltered skin on my makeup channel. So think about what you stand for and what impact you want to make. The final step is to take action, because clarity comes from action, not just from thoughts. And what holds most people back from success and true passion is fear and doubt. We as humans are social creatures. We want to follow certain patterns and these default paths, and we're naturally afraid of taking a unique step into a different direction, leaving that safe default path behind that was taught to you, the path that is naturally expected of you. That's why not every single person does what they truly want to do in life. And there's naturally a fear of judgment there as well. What will my family think? What will my friends think? What if I fail? And I highly recommend reading the book The Pathless Path if you're in this position. It covers a lot of the things that I've discussed here and more. The thing is, no matter what you do with your life, you're always going to face judgment from someone. When I chose to stray from the default path and drop out of university to start my own company, I faced a lot of judgment. All these wannabe future doctors, lawyers looked down on me so much. Like, people pitied me. They felt sorry for me. They were saying things like, why would you do that to yourself? You're so smart. You're capable of so much more. Like, why are you throwing your life away for something so dumb? And it's like I instantly became a lesser person in their minds because of my own choices and my own passions. And most people won't have the guts to do those hard choices in their entire lifetime. And it usually scares people when you take a different path to them, because some people don't want to see you grow or change. And by making that choice for myself, I lost a lot of friends that way. Well, they obviously weren't true friends. But the moral of the story is, in order to find your true passion and live out your dreams, you have to let go of that fear. And once you've let go of that fear and doubt, you need to take action by building daily habits and routines. Habits that will help you on your journey to that passion, to that dream. This might be things like daily journaling, daily meditation, reading and educating yourself. Just create certain routines, whatever works for you to keep yourself in that mindset. And if you're in the stages of experimenting and exploring different things, then commit to doing something for 30 days. See where it takes you and start small. Everybody starts somewhere. So if you're into writing, maybe start a blog. If you're into makeup, maybe post it on Instagram. Because passion and purpose isn't about perfection. It's consistently showing up and growing. And each small step you take gives you more clarity and gets you closer to your passion and purpose. I mean, I wouldn't be here making this video for you guys if I hadn't taken those small steps, like teaching myself editing at 12. It's all about the journey. Now that you know all the steps to finding your passion and purpose, remember that these aren't things that are discovered overnight. And your passions and your purpose don't have to be grand, world-saving ones. They just have to align with you and mean something to you. So be patient with yourself on your journey, and remember that you'll always continue to grow and evolve as a person. I really hope you found this video helpful, and if you found any sort of value in this, then please consider subscribing. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!